We are here to talk about what is cap and what is fact. And the main topic for today will be the commonly held local beliefs about health and wellness. They have no scientific basis. So today, we have invited the food scientists Celeste and Sri to debunk some of Singaporean mistakes. And we have invited also the PhD students Mazuki and Vanessa over to share their thoughts. So the first myth I will be posing to the food scientists would be that brown sugar is healthier than white sugar. What are your thoughts?
Okay, contrary to popular belief, both are nutritionally similar from a study done by Healthline. So all sugars are the same with very minor differences in both taste and color. What do you guys think about the difference between white sugar and brown sugar in terms of taste?
Our guess is like the sweetness. Perhaps white sugar is sweeter than brown sugar.
It's true that white sugar tends to be much sweeter, but then brown sugar has a caramel taste to it. And also white sugar, in terms of density, they tend to be much airier and lighter, while brown sugar is normally much denser. Both sugars are also known as simple carbohydrates. They are easily utilized by the body for energy. But then when they are not needed, they are stored as fat.
Okay, so from what I can gather, if you want to base your decision on white or brown sugar, you base it on the taste. Nutrition-wise, is around the same. So is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think ultimately choosing brown or white sugar comes to your personal preference. The only difference you get is your taste and the texture of the sugars. Whatever it is, right, your sugar should be taken in small amounts because it provides empty calories as no nutrients at all.
And also you all should watch out for hidden sugars in food and drinks. So for instance, soft drinks, I'm pretty sure most of you drink it during your recess time. It actually contains as much as 8 teaspoons of sugar, and I'm pretty sure you all have heard that your daily intake of sugar should only be 9 teaspoons, and you end up gaining weight if you eat too much sugar. Yep, back to you.
So I guess the summary is that brown sugar is not healthier than white sugar. So that is a myth that is kept. Remember to fact check. So the second myth that I'll pose to the two food scientists is that consuming protein supplements improves sports performance and can be used as a weight loss tool. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so for protein supplements have been shown to help repair muscle wear and tear after intense exercise and gym sessions by restoring muscle glycogen, which acts as a source of fuel. However, research have not shown that protein shakes can enhance sports performance. There are no specific guidelines on the safe amount of protein shake to take for weight loss. But recent research has shown that protein helps to make one feel full, reducing one's need for snacking. High protein intake is linked to lower levels of hunger-inducing hormones. Therefore, it's not exactly wrong to say that protein shakes can lead to weight loss. However, do note that drinking too much protein shake is not safe. High protein intake increases the risk of dehydration and muscle cramps.
From what I can gather, we have to take protein shakes in moderation, and we should rely on like the regular foods. Would you say that would be a fair statement? Okay, so is there anything that you would like to add? Any tips for the secondary school? Yeah.
I think ultimately as secondary school students, you all shouldn't be drinking protein shakes from such a young age. Always get your proteins from food if possible. Half a chicken breast would roughly be the same amount as that in protein shakes. Because as human bodies, right, we are required, even protein shake alone can deprive you of certain nutrients, resulting in negative effects such as like hair loss due to lack of zinc.
Also, healthy weight loss can be achieved via a calorie-controlled diet. You don't have to take protein shakes. You should just maintain a calorie deficit if you would like to lose weight over time.
That's interesting. I didn't know that it can lead to hair loss. So that is something that I guess most of us didn't know. So now that we know it, so we should be taking protein supplements in moderation. So the third myth that I would like to pose to the food scientists is that to burn more fat, right, exercise on an empty stomach. We hear this a lot. So is this fact or cap?
Yes, this is a very common myth that we all hear a lot these days. However, okay, so according to studies, right, it is true that when you eat breakfast, you burn more calories than those who did not when you're exercising. But the difference is very, very small and it's not meaningful. Working out on an empty stomach does not jumpstart your metabolism at all. So what actually happens is that approximately after 30 minutes of exercising without eating at first, the body will start to use muscle as a source of energy, and it can lead to overexertion, dizziness, dehydration, and also possibly nausea as well. Exercising on an empty stomach will also lower blood sugar, which leads to hunger. More likely, you will end up eating more after working out, which is exactly the opposite of what you want. According to another study, people who ate at least 400 calorie meal for breakfast 3 hours before they exercised, they were able to bite 30 minutes longer than when they did not eat beforehand.
Okay, so it's not necessarily true that if you're on an empty stomach, right, when you exercise, you actually burn more fat. That might not be true. You might actually get the opposite result from what you intend to get, which is to burn more fat. So is there any tips that you can give to the secondary school children?
Yeah, I think ultimately what you should eat is a light snack or that contains carbohydrates and protein, preferably about 100 to 200 calories. So like fruit and yogurts. But if let's say if you don't really like to calorie calorie count, right, don't have to worry. Just eat everything in moderation. And most importantly, do not eat your heavy meals because it takes a way longer time to digest. And lastly, when you want to eat, right, or when you want to exercise, do not eat right after that. Yeah, because it can cause cramps.
Yeah, also do note that you should wait for 30 minutes before working out. I'm pretty sure y'all were rushing back after recess. Y'all probably got stomach aches before. So yes, please take note. And also, fitness experts also suggest eating liquid food such as smoothies, so you can try that out. And also, you can eat light meals before exercising to boost your energy for your workout, so that you can work out longer and eventually you'll lose more weight.
So I'm hearing that it can actually potentially be dangerous if you eat just before your workout without any breaks, because that can actually damage your body. But you also should not be working out on an empty stomach, because you might actually end up gaining weight. So you have to, I guess, eat in moderation, take a break, then work out. Yeah, I think that will be the best result. So we'll carry on with our fourth myth. Frozen yogurt is better for your health than ice cream. Is that fact or cat?
Okay, let me start with a question first. Do you guys prefer frozen yogurt or ice cream?
Honestly, ice cream.
Tastier, sweeter.
Yes.
Okay, let's consider the nutritional breakdown of ice cream and frozen yogurt. Both the desserts are made with dairy products, so both provide bone-building calcium. But here's where the dairy sources matter. Okay, frozen yogurt is made with milk, while ice cream is made with cream. Hence, in terms of fat-wise, frozen yogurt is a better option than ice cream because it only contains 4 grams of fat, whereas ice cream contains 7 grams of fat. Okay, and yogurts are also lower in calories compared to ice cream. In addition, there are also sugar-free options. Okay, and this is a better option for teenagers, especially secondary school students, because during their busy schedules or due to peer pressure, they tend to sometimes snack a lot or consume excessive amounts of fast food, soft drinks like bubble tea also, and hence this offers a better snack option compared to eating ice cream. As mentioned, contains a lower fat and better nutrition option compared to ice cream.
So this is interesting. So from what I'm gathering is that yogurt is actually slightly healthier than ice cream because of its slightly lower fat content. Nutrition wise is somewhat similar, but there's still a difference in the fat content. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay,
Yes.
So is there any tips on how these secondary school students can approach this myth?
Most of the time, some of us after school, we tend to go to have our yogurts and ice cream, right? We must take the toppings at moderate amount. So your marshmallows, syrup, cookies, and chocolate and chip can bump up the sugar content a lot without any added fibers or nutrients.
Also, yogurts have flavoured and non-flavoured options. So for instance, you go to Yole, you will have original and also perhaps mango flavour. So flavour options, you have to do note that they tend to have more added sugar, which would be better to avoid if you're trying to lose weight. Also, like any other food, frozen yogurt should be consumed in moderation.
For this case, yes, yogurt might be slightly healthier than ice cream, but if we don't control toppings and if our consumption is not in moderation, it can end up harming us. So the fifth myth and the last myth that I'll be posing to our food scientists is that skipping meals will help you lose weight. So is that fact or cat?
So we might think that skipping meals can help us to lose weight, right? But when I was in secondary school, I would skip meals as well because I thought it could help me to lose weight. Now that I know, I think it's especially important when you're in secondary school and your body is going through changes, going through puberty, it's more important to have a balanced diet now than ever. So if you skip meals, 3 factors will be affected. When you skip meal, it drops your blood sugar level, affecting the normal functioning of your organs. So during your PE lessons or CCA, especially if you're in a sports CCA, you might not be able to function as well as you could. Secondly, it affects your metabolism. Your metabolism should be working well if you want to lose weight because it helps to burn calories faster with less effort. However, when you skip meal, the body doesn't get enough energy from food, so it slows down instead, which is the opposite effect. And the last point is that you might end up gaining weight. When you skip a meal, we tend to overeat at the next meal because we have this very strong craving for food thereafter. So we crave for snacks at night, we will eventually gain weight as well.
So this is quite similar to the third myth. The first thought is that if you skip meals, you might actually lose weight. But in reality, that might not be the case. You might end up gaining weight, because of your brain telling you that you're hungry or whatnot. Then you might end up doing the opposite, taking things not in moderation. So is there any tips that you want to give to secondary school students?
I think as secondary school students, you should never skip your meals, especially breakfast. Regardless of the day, try to eat as much as you can. But at the same time, do not have a big meal because it could delay your weight loss journey. And if from there after that, it can actually lead to more weight gain as you get more calories stored as fats.
Okay, and no matter how much you exercise, please remember that food actually plays a bigger role in losing weight. Remember to have a balanced diet, eat your vegetables, eat your fruits, and eat your 3 meals a day. And also, one more thing is, do not be afraid of eating fats. Your body still requires healthy fats to function. And for instance, you can try olive oil or avocado.
Okay, so I guess we can summarize that food plays a very big role in losing weight and not to be afraid of fat intake because it is healthy for our bodily functions. And of course, to take everything in moderation. So this will be the end of Fact or Cap, and remember to always do your fact check. Thank you.